Hi guys, welcome back. After I did my color comparison between Amazon brand and Prismacolor and discovered that it is 100% color comparable to each other, I started getting a lot of people asking me to do other brands that maybe they were using to give the comp sheets. So today I'm going to do one of the most popular brands amongst my followers, and I've been actually asked to do more with these pencils in the past, and kind of the reason why I didn't is that I couldn't give you guys the colors because my set was old. In fact, I have one of the earliest sets when they didn't have numbers or colors on the pencils. They just gave the pencils. I went out and I bought the new 96 color set, and they all come with really nice names on them. What I was impressed by, and I'll tell you that this might not sound important to everybody, but it is to me, it's really easy to read the names on the pencils. Finally, a pencil company that gets it. That a lot of people that are doing adult coloring are older, and looking at tiny stamped foil for the colors are very difficult. So kudos to the Schpirerr Farben company. Now I know I don't pronounce it correctly, and I pronounce it better than a lot of other people what they've been calling it, but I don't like the nickname that this company has been called because it definitely does not reflect their pencils. Schpirerr Farben is a oil-based pencil. It's not a wax-based like Prismacolor. So they do not blend the way Prismacolor does. They sort of overlap the color on top, and when you do that, you kind of like cellophane see through the color. Now, I'm recommending to anybody that is serious about doing art, one of my followers called it skilled coloring, and I absolutely love that name, skilled coloring, and I think that's what I'm going to be calling it from now on, what we do, because adult coloring, we're not children. Okay, we're not coloring in coloring books like children. We're doing art, and we're using other people's sketches. So, skilled coloring. Very often what happens with Prismacolor is people try to do detail work with it, and it doesn't work out because Prismacolor was not designed to do detail work. It's not supposed to make a strong line. It's supposed to blend with other pencils. I'm going to take a couple of pencils here. I'm going to take Parma Violet by Prismacolor. I'm going to lay down several layers. Then I'm going to take white. Now this happens to be Holbein white, and it's my white of choice, but it's very hard to get. I'm going to be running out if they don't start selling it here soon, which they're supposed to. I'm going to run out of this. I'm going to go back to my Derwent Chinese white. I'm going to lay down the white right next to it. Now, Holbein is a combination pencil of oil and wax, where Prismacolor is wax. I take a blender, my Derwent blender, and watch what happens with the Prismacolor. I can pick up and use color that has been laid down by Prismacolor to form a blend. Now, if I did the same thing with Schpirerr Farbens, and I'm going to use blue violet, and I'm going to put down several layers, make sure it's nice and thick. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the white. Then I'm going to take my blender okay, now it blended slightly, but not much. And that could also be a little bit of the Parma Violet that's on the tip of the blender that pulled out into the white. Because literally I can go over my white and I'm not picking up any color from it. Here, I can bring this pretty far out. Okay? Now, if I take, say, Rose Luster, and this is a Schpirerr Farben, and I put another pencil over it, you could see where the blend happened right in between. And that's because this is sitting on top of that. And just by sheer transparency, we're picking up another color. So that's how the difference between an oil pencil and a wax pencil work. Now, why I say that anybody who's serious into coloring should own both wax and either a harder wax or a oil pencil is because after all is said and done, I can take my oil pencil and do fine detail on top of the wax. So this gives you a lot more ability. Now, if I was going to do the same thing with this, but use another Prismacolor pencil, and I'm going to try to get those really minute, fine details that I want, all that's going to happen is the pencils are going to blend. So I did a color comparison between them to see how many of the Schpirerr Farbens were comparable in color to the Prismacolor. Now, what I'm going to do, see all of this? I'm comparing. So I'm still collecting the data up. Once all my data from different sets are put together, I'm going to put that, I'm going to give it over to Abby, my graphics designer for the channel. And he said he'll put it together into a neat format. And then I'm going to put it into not only my books, so that anybody who's using my books that aren't using Prismacolor can have the comp charts. I'm going to also make this available for free in the Facebook group. So just give me a little bit of time. I know I said I was going to do it for the weekend, and I finished the ones that I wanted to do for the weekend, and then Abby and I decided that we're going to all put it together in one gigantic chart and just put it all out there. That's what we're going to do. So just give me a little bit of time to do this. So what did I find? That's always the question, is what did I find? Well, instead of going over every single color, I'm going to give you some percentages. 1/3 of the Schpirerr Farben 96 set did not match with Prismacolor. Their colors were not comparable. They weren't the same. They were less than 85%. So if it went on this chart, it's going to be 85% or more, where I could say to you, you can use crimson red, and then if you look over here, you could see the colors are matching, and this one happens to be No Place Like Home, number 255 of the Schpirerr Farbens. If it was 85%, because I gave it a little bit of leeway this time for tints and tones. You can play with your tints and tones and get it to match perfectly. We're going to say about 1/3 of the 96 set is complete and unique colors. This is what I wanted to see. 100% what I wanted. New colors. I've always thought that the Schpirerr Farben pencils themselves, their colors are as bright as Prismacolor. For the 96 pencil set from Schpirerr Farben, I paid $44.97, so $45 for it. A Prismacolor set, well, the comparable to the Schpirerr Farbens is not Prismacolor, it's apples and oranges. So if we're going to look at anything, we're going to look at the Polychromo set. And the Polychromo sets are $200 and above. So as far as I'm concerned, these pencils are like affordable. They are unique enough that I will take those extra pencils and use them nicely. They're beautiful. So I'm waiting for one more set of pencils to come, which are going to be comparable to these. We can do a comparison of them, and I'm going to put everything together, hand it over to Abby, and as soon as I get it back, I'll have it up in the Facebook group. So take care, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.